What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about our Atlanta Falcons and why the Falcons must embrace their identity. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about our Atlanta Falcons and why the Falcons must embrace their identity. So as you guys know, I've been talking about this for many years now with our Atlanta Falcons, is that we have to establish our identity and we have to stick to it. And personally, I believe that the Atlanta Falcons identity on the offensive side of the football is running the ball and then allowing the run to open up the pass. And if you look at our Atlanta Falcons over the years, I really feel like the Atlanta Falcons, at least in my generation, since I've been an Atlanta Falcons fan, we have been a run-first team. If you think about the '98 Falcons that went to the Super Bowl with Jamal Anderson, he rushed for over 1,800 yards in that season, almost 1,900 yards. And the Falcons were able to go to the Super Bowl, beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, and they fell short to the Denver Broncos in that '98 season. Then you move to 2001 when I became a fan of our Atlanta Falcons, when the great Mike Vick was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. And when you think about Mike Vick's days with the Atlanta Falcons, I think about DVD, where you had Warwick Dunn, Michael Vick, and TJ Duckett, but all three of those guys in the backfield. And those guys had a great running game. And that basically set the tone for everything. We were really good in the trenches, but we were able to use that three-headed monster with those guys in the backfield to set a tone in those games when we were a run-first team. When I think about that team that Michael Vick played with Warwick Dunn, Jarius Norwood, that team that got to the NFC Championship game, I believe that was 2004, where they went up against the Philadelphia Eagles and Donovan McNabb. You think of that season, you also were a run-first team in that instance, with Dunn in the backfield, with Jarius Norwood, with Michael Vick running the ball as well at the quarterback position. And then if you move forward to the Matt Ryan years, when he first came to the Atlanta Falcons, a lot of people forget that the Falcons were a run-first team. When Matt Ryan first joined the Atlanta Falcons, you had Michael Turner, who was brought in as a free agent from the San Diego Chargers. And he was another guy that came in his first couple seasons and basically set the tone. We had a really good offensive line. We played solid defense when Matt Ryan showed up on the scene. And Michael Turner was the guy that stirred the drink for the Atlanta Falcons. He was the focal point for the first couple years when Matt Ryan was drafted by our Atlanta Falcons. So they allowed Matt Ryan to develop. And when you think of the good teams that Matt Ryan played on, majority of the teams that we played on that were really good with Matt Ryan, we had a really good running game. We had a really good offensive line. If you move a little bit further, you look at the years, that later on in Matt Ryan's career where we went to the Super Bowl, you had, after Michael Turner was with us, then you had the likes of Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, and those guys in that tandem running the ball in the year that we went to the Super Bowl, the year that Matt Ryan won the MVP. We were a balanced offense, but everything started up front with that running game, with us setting the tone as far as that offensive line playing really well that season. And really, I feel like the Falcons have to get back to what we were, and that's embracing the fact that we're not a pass-first team. We're a run-first team. We're a team that's physical in the trenches, and we play solid defense. That's what the Atlanta Falcons, moniker should be, and that's what the Atlanta Falcons have to come to terms with. I really feel like until the Falcons come to terms that we're not a pass-first team and they, go back to the basics. When you talk about football, it's moving another man against his will, football being a game of inches. When you see the teams that have embraced what they are and teams that understand their philosophy, understand their identity, those are the teams that consistently win year in and year out. When you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're a run the ball type team, play solid defense, and they've been like that for since they've been in existence. When you think about teams like the Philadelphia Eagles right now, they always been known for good defense, running the football, you know. And when you look at our Atlanta Falcons, it's the same exact thing. So I really feel like this Atlanta Falcons team have to come to grips with what we are. We have to embrace it. Do I think that Michael Penix Jr. is a really good quarterback? Yes. But Matt Ryan also was a great quarterback and a future Hall of Fame quarterback, in my opinion. But he was at his apex, meaning Matt Ryan. Those teams that he played on, the teams that had really good records, the 2012 Atlanta Falcons, where we went up against the San Francisco 49ers. You had a strong running game with Michael Turner, and you had guys like Roddy White on that team. You had guys like Tony Gonzalez on that team. But everything started with that O-line, started with Michael Turner in the backfield, opening up things for the passing game. So I really feel like the Falcons have to get back to the basics. We have to go ahead and embrace what we are and who we are. And Falcons football is running the ball, being aggressive in the trenches, setting the tone in the trenches with guys like Bijan Robinson now, with guys like Tyler Algier, and then everything, opens up off of that. As far as the defense, we've always been known for having really gritty defenses as well, having defenses that cause turnovers. In the years that we've won, had winning seasons. When you look at our Atlanta Falcons, we had defenses that could take the football away. You look at the 2012 Falcons, you had guys like Willie Moe on the back end. You had guys like Asante Samuel on the back end that could take the ball away. Brent Grimes. You had guys like Thomas Deku, who had a lot of interceptions in those years when we were playing really, really high level football. When you think about the 2016 Falcons, you had a Deion Jones that could take the ball away, whether it was forcing fumbles or intercepting the ball and taking it the other way. You had guys like Keanu Neal, who was a turnover machine, a guy who could force fumbles, a guy that was an intimidator in the middle of the field. You had the Robert Alfords, who would go after the football, Desmond Trufant on that team. You had guys that could come away with strip sack fumbles, the Vic Beasleys, who could attack the quarterback. You had the White Freeney on that team attacking the quarterback. You had the Courtney Upshaws. We had a lot of different guys, that was playing, at a really, really high level in those instances. So I really feel like it's the same way for this Atlanta Falcons team that we have. Right now, we have the number 2 defense total overall in the league right now. They're playing really, really well. Even though, we did get blown out in our last game, the defense wasn't the reason why we struggled in that last game. The defense has played at a really high level for the first 3 weeks of the season. I love what Jeff Ulbrich and the defensive coaching staff have done with this team. But you have guys that can take the ball away on this team as well, whether it's the young guys that you brought in with Xavier Watson, Billy Bowman, whether it's Jesse Bates, who's currently on this roster, or whether it's the guys that you have on the front end, where you have the guys like a Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Caden Ellis, Devon Diablo. The list goes on and on and on as far as the guys that we have on this roster. So I really feel like the Falcons, as I'm going to say it again, we have to embrace who we are. We have to run the football. We have to play tough in the trenches. We have to do the things, go back to the basics and the fundamentals of football. And that's basically moving another man against his will, it being a game of inches, and being very gritty. So I really feel like the Falcons have to get back to that. If we embrace our identity, I really feel like we can get these things turned around. As far as this Atlanta Falcons team, we definitely have a big game tomorrow against the Washington Commanders, but it's going to start with us embracing who we are. No matter what, it always comes back to the fundamentals. So with that being said, if you enjoy my content, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Hit that like button for your boy. I still have faith in this team. I do believe that they can turn things around, but it has to start in the trenches. It has to start to go back to the fundamentals, embracing who you are. So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.